Language is one of the most fascinating and complex human abilities. From the first coos and babbles to complete sentences and fluent conversations, learning to talk is a journey that begins in infancy and continues through childhood. In this video, we'll explore how children learn to talk, from the early stages of sound recognition to the mastery of grammar and vocabulary. We'll break down the developmental milestones, the science behind language acquisition, and the factors that influence how we become skilled communicators. The foundations of language learning. Language is a system of communication that involves symbols, spoken, written, or signed, that follow grammatical rules. It allows us to express thoughts, share emotions, and convey complex ideas. Human language is unique because of its productivity and creativity. We can generate an infinite number of sentences from a finite set of words and rules. The debate over how we learn language often centers around two perspectives: nature and nurture. The nature side argues that language ability is innate, largely hardwired into the brain. This is supported by the work of Noam Chomsky, who proposed the idea of universal grammar. According to Chomsky, all humans are born with a biological capacity to acquire language. The nurture side emphasizes the role of the environment. Children learn to talk by interacting with caregivers and being exposed to language in meaningful contexts. Today, most experts agree that language learning involves both innate abilities and social interaction. Stages of language development. Surprisingly, language learning begins before birth. By the third trimester, fetuses can hear sounds from the outside world. Research shows that newborns can recognize their mother's voice and even show preference for the language spoken by their mother during pregnancy. This early exposure lays the groundwork for later learning. The first year of life is primarily about listening and producing basic sounds. Infants respond to voices and sounds. They begin to coo, making vowel-like sounds such as O and R. 4 to 6 months of babies start babbling, combining consonants and vowels into repetitive strings like BABA or DADA. This is not yet language, but it's a crucial step in speech development. 6 to 12 months, babbling becomes more varied and speech-like. Around 9 months, babies begin using gestures, like pointing or waving, which also support communication. By the end of the first year, many infants say their first words. These words are usually simple and tied to their immediate environment, such as mama, dada, or ball. 1 to 2 years, first words and vocabulary growth. Between 12 and 24 months, children typically go from saying a few words to several dozen. This stage is marked by using one word to express a complete idea. For example, milk might mean I want milk. Fast mapping the ability to learn new words after only 1 or 2 exposures. This rapid vocabulary growth is fueled by constant interaction and exploration. By age 2, most toddlers have a vocabulary of around 50 to 100 words and begin to put 2 words together into simple sentences, such as want toy or go outside. As vocabulary expands, children begin to combine words into more complex structures. 2-word combinations evolve into 3-word sentences. Children start using basic grammar, such as adding ing endings or plurals. They may begin asking simple questions like "What's that?" or "Where go?" By age 3, most children can be understood by familiar adults and may have a vocabulary of several hundred words. They also begin to use pronouns like I, me, and you, mastering grammar and conversation. During the preschool years, language development accelerates. Kids begin using tense, possessives, and articles correctly. Complex sentences, children use conjunctions like and or because to link ideas. Narratives, they can tell simple stories and recount past events. By age 4 or 5, many children can carry on extended conversations, follow multi-step directions, and understand most of what is said to them. They also begin to use language socially, to make friends, solve problems, and express opinions. Language is primarily processed in the left hemisphere of the brain. 2 key areas are Broca's area, located in the frontal lobe. It's responsible for speech production and grammar. Wernicke's area, found in the temporal lobe. It's essential for understanding language. Damage to these areas in adults can result in aphasia, a condition that affects the ability to speak or understand language. In children, the brain is highly plastic, meaning it can adapt more easily. This plasticity is what allows young kids to recover from brain injuries or learn multiple languages with less effort than adults. Many researchers believe there is a critical period for language acquisition, an optimal window during which the brain is especially prepared to learn language. This period is thought to extend from birth to around puberty. Evidence for the critical period comes from studies of children who were isolated or deprived of language input. These children often have lifelong difficulty mastering grammar and syntax if intervention comes too late. Language is not learned in a vacuum. Children need to hear language used in meaningful ways. Important features of language input include infant-directed speech, also called motherese, a high-pitched, exaggerated, and melodic way of speaking that captures baby's attention. Turn-taking conversations with infants, even if they don't respond verbally, help develop conversational skills. Joint attention, when caregivers and children focus on the same object or event while talking about it, language learning is enhanced. Interactive communication is far more effective than passive listening, like watching TV. Live human interaction is key to building vocabulary and understanding grammar. Many children grow up in bilingual or multilingual households. Contrary to myths, this does not confuse children or delay development. Bilingual children may mix languages early on, but this is normal and temporary. They tend to have a slightly smaller vocabulary in each individual language, but often have a greater total vocabulary overall. Bilingualism is associated with cognitive benefits, such as better executive function and problem-solving skills. Children also learn to speak in ways that reflect their community and culture. Dialects, accents, and regional variations are all part of natural language learning. Understanding and respecting these variations is important in education and assessment. Challenges in language development. Language delays. Some children develop language more slowly than others. Signs of a possible language delay include not babbling by 12 months, not using words by 18 months, not combining words by 2 years, difficulty understanding simple instructions. Early intervention is key. Speech-language pathologists can assess and support children with delays. Common speech disorders include articulation disorders, trouble producing certain sounds, fluency disorders such as stuttering, voice disorders, problems with pitch, volume, or quality. Speech therapy can be highly effective in helping children overcome these challenges. Language disorders. Language disorders affect the ability to understand or use language appropriately. Receptive language disorder, difficulty understanding what others say. Expressive language disorder, trouble putting thoughts into words. Mixed receptive expressive disorder, a combination of both. Developmental language disorder, DLD, is a condition that affects about 7% of children and is not caused by hearing loss or intellectual disability. Early diagnosis and support are crucial. At home, parents and caregivers play a vital role in supporting language development. Here are some practical strategies. Talk frequently, describe what you're doing, name objects, and ask questions. Read aloud. Daily reading promotes vocabulary growth, comprehension, and bonding. Sing songs and rhymes. Music helps with rhythm, memory, and sound awareness. Encourage conversation. Give children time to respond. Don't rush or correct too much. Pretend play fosters narrative skills and creativity in language use. Their metabolism also plays a role. Children with faster metabolisms often feel the need to move more, burn energy, and stay active. Additionally, differences in muscle tone, body type, and neurological functioning can also influence how active a child is. Hormones like dopamine and serotonin are also involved. These brain chemicals affect motivation and energy. A child with a more active dopamine system may seek more stimulation and physical activity. Every child has a unique temperament. Some are naturally high-spirited and excitable. These children often seek out physical activity as a way to explore the world. They enjoy movement, challenges, and sensory stimulation. Others may be more introverted or cautious. They might prefer quiet activities, like reading or drawing, over running and climbing. It's not that they're lazy, it's just a different way of engaging with the world. Personality traits like curiosity, confidence, and adaptability also influence a child's level of activity. Children who are more open to new experiences may be more likely to try active games, sports, and outdoor play. Younger children, especially toddlers and preschoolers, tend to be very active. At this stage, movement is a key part of learning. They explore by crawling, climbing, and running. As children grow older, their activity levels may fluctuate based on developmental changes, school routines, and interests. Teenagers, for example, often become less active due to academic pressures, screen time, and social changes. However, some remain highly active, especially if they're involved in sports or physical hobbies. The behavior of parents plays a huge role in shaping a child's activity level. Children who see their parents being active are more likely to be active themselves. This includes things like going for walks, biking, dancing, or even doing chores together. On the other hand, if parents are mostly sedentary, children may adopt similar habits. Encouragement, support, and involvement in active play can motivate kids to move more. Setting routines and limits around screen time and providing opportunities for physical activity, like trips to the park or signing up for sports, can make a big difference. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more this type of videos, then do not forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon.